Next question. Wow, that's a shorter one. Please share the most important piece of advice you offered your kids when looking for a spouse. When encouraging my kids to look for a spouse? Yes? Yes? Okay, got it. Okay. They've got to be a 9 or a 10. No, I'm just messing with you. I didn't really say that. The one thing that we have tried to emphasize with all of our kids to try and help them to understand the significance of this is that if you care about ultimately what care, and don't get me wrong, I think there's an attractability that has to be there, and that's going to be true in any relationship. That's just reality. That's human nature. So we don't downplay that at all. We understand that aspect of it. But the reality of being able to understand the heart of a person, and specifically the commitment of the person, is the key thing. If you've been around, for a while, and you've been married for a while, Kim and I have been married 31 years, and the reality is, marriages are up and down. You have lots of stuff come your way. And the only thing of value that you're really going to be able to hang on to is somebody who has the same commitments and the same level of commitments that you have as well. And so to be able to understand a wholehearted commitment to Christ, it's kind of a wild idea. What you need to find to our sons, you need to find a woman. To our daughters, you need to find a man who loves God more than you. That's the first start right there. Because, guys, you have to understand, again, we're right back to Proverbs 1:7, that the reality is when God is kept in the right place, other things tend to fall into place. When you have problems or difficulties, and yet the focus is on God, God steps in and convicts the husband or the wife about what they need to do, about where they need to go. That husband or wife knows to turn to God, to pray to God on behalf of what's going on. And so what we tried to continue to help our kids to understand is that the character qualities that needed to be there, it had to be a priority. And again, like I said, we told them we understand you're going to have to be somebody that you're going to be attracted to, and we get all that. But those kind of qualities are going to be the key element to be able to do all that. What we found was, what's interesting, is you would think so, make sure you watch what kind of family they come from. Nope, that hasn't really played an element. We've got, 7 kids, 6 of which are following God. And, the reality is it really hasn't been so much about the family. There's been good and bad throughout the whole thing, but we are just thrilled with the spouses that our children have chosen and the relationships that they have. We just had everybody over yesterday for a pool party, and just to look around and see, man, they destroyed my pool. I had it so clean, and it was blue and lovely, and after they left, it's like there were cooties everywhere. It was amazing. And one of our littlest guys, he literally turned my deck into a poop deck. He literally did that. We were all playing, and all of a sudden Jake went, "What's that?" And we all went, "Whoa!" It was Zeke. I'm just going to go. It was Zeke. All right, he just dropped it out of his diaper and went walking. Wow. Looked like an emoji sitting right there on my deck. It was the most amazing thing. So anyway, you wanted to hear about the poop on my deck, didn't you? What were we talking about? Oh, kids. Yeah. Anyway, to be able to look around at the people that were there, and really to be able to think about what's like little Zeke and what's going to happen to him and the relationships. And remember back with Cameron. Cameron was a hard kid for us to raise, and to see what he's doing now, and to see his little family, and to watch each one of them and see what's going on. And it's a beautiful thing. It's so fulfilling. And one of the things that you do find out, and some of you have some age and you know this, that those are the things you start realizing that are ultimately important in life. All the things you thought were important, all the way back to junior high and high school and college and all, in your 20s, and sometimes you're 30, and all of a sudden you look back at that and realize, wow, that really wasn't that significant. But when you look around and see what you've built, the people that you care about, and the opportunity to be able to impact people, or maybe you're late to the game with Christianity and you're like, I haven't really built a lot, but you can still impact a lot. You still have a future to be able to change and make a difference and have an impact on the people that are around you. Guys, that's what this is all about. It really is, being able to look around and recognize that because you were here, think about this, because you existed, you have changed the world. That's what it's about. And that doesn't just have to be kids. It really doesn't. The impacts, the interactions that you have with other people, the difference that you make, guys, that's what this is all about. I always talk about, no legacy is going to be there for me, and I do believe that. But the reality is the kids, the grandkids, the great-grandkids, they will be heavily impacted by this dude that they don't even know existed. Many of those kids won't remember great-grandma and grandpa or great-great-great-great-grandma and grandpa, and they won't realize the difference that was wrought in their life because Kim and I chose to live the way that we live. Guys, same thing is true with you. And to be able to have that kind of impact, because I'm 39 now, and I've got to tell you that when you get old like me, you start realizing what's important. And guys, that is what it's about. And I would just challenge you, when you start caring about those kind of things, you start finding out what life is about, because you don't want to end up on the other end going, wow, I just saw what life was about and I didn't do it, right? And so it enables you to be able to focus on the stuff that does matter.